In this year's President's Report, I'd like to start with a few questions. So please answer with a show of hands. I've only got a couple. How many of you have enjoyed a bowl or two of Land O'Lakes ice cream over the years? Anybody? All right. Second question, have you ever bought gas or maybe groceries or a pack of gum at a Senex convenience store? Buddy? The last question, have you ever bought a shovel, a tool, or a piece of equipment from a True Value hardware store? Anybody? That's what I thought. Here's why I ask. All three of these businesses have something in common with Lake Country Power. They're all owned and operated by a group of individuals for their collective and mutual benefit. They're all co-ops, just like Lake Country Power. As mentioned earlier, a co-op is owned by its members. In this case, LCP is owned by us, you and me. It was formed by farmers, loggers, and folks who preferred the county life over city living more than 80 years ago. That was a long time ago, but maybe you relate to the story like I do. The story of country life versus living in the city. Said another way, most of us who live in rural areas, like our neighbors, we just don't like living on top of us. That's the upside of living in a rural area, owning a cabin on a lake or a hunting shack in the woods. There aren't many yard lights between all those trees. It's also the reason electric co-ops, like LCP, serve areas that count more trees than people. Large utilities are aware of the fact as well. Long before electric co-ops existed, for-profit utilities knew they couldn't make a profit serving us in our rural areas. That's why Lake Country Power was and is set up as a not-for-profit electric co-op, owned by members, providing an essential service consistent with the cost of service. Your co-op serves fewer than 6 customers per mile. Utilities that serve cities and suburban areas can spread their fixed costs amongst many more members or residents, sometimes up to 50 services per mile. When you have more people per mile, more people to pay those costs. It changes the economics. The rates are different, like apples and oranges. If you compare the two, it's important to recognize the differences. And when you do, it puts the value of rural electricity in a whole different light. These are the challenges that date back to the early days of electric co-ops. And our job as board today is to make sure our co-op is operating efficiently, effectively, for all members, not only today, but in the future as well. On behalf of the board, I'm pleased to report your co-op is run well by an effective, decisive manager who is well respected. He oversees the employees who care about what they do, who work hard for you, who take time to answer questions and respond to issues. It's the board's responsibility to look ahead to the long term, to plan strategy, apply knowledge, and make decisions that benefit the greater good of the membership. To keep the co-op moving forward and improve safety, reliability, and service for members. I'll say that again. Safety, reliability, and service. These are essential expectations. We take these expectations into account when we plan strategy and review budgets. As members who represent members, we balance these expectations with primary board duties, like maintaining a financially sound and strong organization, establishing policies, providing direction and oversight for the manager, preserving co-op assets, keeping members informed, and representing the interests of all members for the good of the whole. By statute, directors are obligated to undertake our duties in good faith in a manner that we believe is best interest of the co-op, and with the care that any other practical person would exercise under similar circumstances. By law, our financial responsibilities boil down to 2 essential elements: a duty of loyalty and a duty of care. which tie back to the idea of exercising good faith, operating effectively as a governing body, and setting high standards for co-op employees and co-op members. We do that while keeping a close eye on costs. It's management responsibilities to plan, manage, and abide by an annual budget. And it's the board's job to review and approve budgets that align with strategy, our vision, the mission, and the co-op values. Greg Randa will talk more about that in a few minutes. From our vantage point on the board, I'm pleased to report that Greg and the 130 plus employees of Lake Country Power work hard for you, for us, day in and day out. They take the mission of the co-op and their service as co-op employees seriously. With that in mind, I'd like to close today by recognizing the employees of the co-op for the work they do and the service they provide on our behalf. They're not looking for it, but please join me in saying thank you with a round of applause to all of our employees for the hard work that they do.